Hey everybody, raspy voice Noah here, back again for another episode of the Thought Bubble series. Today, I think is episode 17. If you didn't watch the last video, you have no clue why I sound like this, but if you want to know, go back over there and watch that one because I think it's super cool and you can hear more of my opinions. Or if you don't, then I'll just explain it here because that's what we do on this channel. Um, Basically, I had an alumni event over the weekend and today is the only day I can film, and I shot my vocal cords because it was a very crowded and fun event, but also a lot of people and a lot of noise. And when you're trying to have conversations with people in a lot of noise, you kind of got to talk loud. So yeah, it was not a good day for my vocal cords. Anyway, today is kind of more of like a ranty-ish video. Usually I feel like I have an idea in my head of like a theme or an idea or whatever. There's been a couple of them where I'm just crashing out. I swear I'm not like how do I like I'm not like a super like D1 crash out person where like I just get mad at everything. There's some times where I'm like a lot of times when I'm like quote unquote coming off angry about something, I'm kind of just like in a joking way. Like for example, when I'm watching basketball and like I'm watching players just stand in a corner and do nothing, even though they're 7'4". Like it kind of makes me angry, and then I'm just like, "What the heck? Why is this person not doing this?" But this this is something that's kind of like been irking me for a while, and it's like I feel like a lot of times I'm usually like the nicer friend. I don't know how to put this. It's like I'm usually like the favors guy, where like if you kind of need something, like if we need to buy like something for a project, it's usually me. If you need to do some extra work or put in some extra time, it's usually me, and like I usually try to give the benefit of the doubt to people, but like I think it's just kind of a recent thing that's kind of started to come on where like I feel a lot of times that I'm just kind of like there as like a like for what I can provide for other people, if that makes sense. I feel like I don't know if used is the right word because I know people don't try to intentionally do it sometimes, but that's just kind of how it feels. Like I think part of it is also like my cynical thinking of like if the roles were like reversed and like I needed something from somebody else, I feel like they wouldn't give me the same courtesy that I gave them. And like I don't know if that's just me, because like I've been like pretty hesitant in the past. Let me move forward a little bit. But like I've been pretty hesitant in the past to like ask people for help. But I think a lot of it has just come from like so many there's just been so many like instances in the past like few days where it's just like, I feel like I just have to bite the bullet for people, and then like I can't I don't get like thanks in return. I don't know, like I don't know what I'm expecting, like I don't know what I'm expecting back because I think back to a lot of the other times that I've like talked with my friends or even some of the videos on this channel where like I do things for people and I really shouldn't expect things in return, but it just feels very like I don't know if it's like it just feels very hurtful a lot of times when it's just like I do something nice for you and then like I can't even get like a thanks back, or like I feel like that's part of it cuz there's been times where like for example, let's go down, there's so many we're digging up everything today. Today we're letting it fly cuz I guess I'm different with the voice. I don't know. Anyway, like there's the instance where in college we hold a luau with our Hawaii club, right? Like every year. And like it's really fun and whatever. They basically the short version is they don't have a somebody to run like audio visual for them, and because I'm like the help guy or whatever and I'm kind-hearted or whatever, or I'd like to think so. They basically called me up and said, "Hey, can you run audio and visual for us on like a really short notice?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." I'm like, I'll do what I can and just send me whatever you need and then I'll try to figure it out. And they said, okay. And then they're like, we'll provide like, we'll give you like a plate lunch and like, this is like, if you don't understand, if you're like from Hawaii, you kind of get it. But if you're not from Hawaii, like when you don't have Hawaiian type of food, like plate lunch for a while, you kind of start fiending for it. You know what I mean? It's not like I need this now, but it's kind of like you just want it. It's just like a hunger that you have. It's kind of like it's just like a, you just kind of need to get a plate lunch in, and that was basically what they told me. And I set up all the stuff for them. Basically, day of luau comes, everything goes great. We have a good time, whatever. And then like after the luau ends, I basically, they didn't actually end up saving any food for me, or like any of the plate lunches that they told me that they were going to give me. And then I think I got like a thanks from like maybe like two or three people. And like I think at the time I usually try to brush it off, but then it's just kind of like, dang, I look back and that's kind of messed up, because it's just like, I feel like the least you could have done is tell me thanks. But like now I kind of just sit back and I'm like, I just feel like you're just abusing the fact that I'm like pretty lenient towards people and like want to help you out. And, you know, basically just like, I don't know if like, I mean, it is like, I feel like it's just common courtesy, just to like give a thanks, especially like for doing something that's like on short notice. But, that's just one instance. But then I think another part of it that's frustrating is just kind of like when the same thing just keeps happening over and over and over again, where like there's been three or four instances now of people who have been obnoxiously intoxicated for one reason or another. And that because I'm like supposed to, I like hate seeing people hurt, that like I want to help them out, and I just end up like ruining my day, or like forcing myself into situations where like I really don't want to be there because I'm trying to do a solid for somebody. Like for example, another example. Um we're in Vegas for a company trip, and it's the first day we land, and we're supposed to have like this kind of like reception dinner type of thing at a bar. And basically a bunch of people get obnoxiously drunk and start running around Vegas and doing all like crazy stuff. And like I had to be the one as like a new hire to like take care of everybody and make sure everybody got back safe. And like I worked with a couple of people that helped me out, but it was like some of the people didn't even say thank you. And like it's just annoying that like I have to be the one that like I want to go out and explore the city, and or like go out and explore and have fun at night with all the other people who kept on going, by the way, because we are gonna do like a, I think the plan was to do a bar crawl or something. I don't know, but it was just like walking with some coworkers, having a good time. And instead now I have to sit here and make sure that people don't throw up and die. And like, one, I think I just hate seeing people being hurt, and like that sucks. But also it's just like I feel like it's just like chalked my whole day, because it's like I spent all this time taking care of this person, and then everybody else just goes off on their own adventure and doesn't really care. And then I kind of get stuck with the responsibility all the time of like being the helpful one. And like one of them didn't even say thanks to me. A couple of people did, and I was like really grateful for it. But like I don't know, it's just getting to a point for me where like it just doesn't seem worth it, because like it's just ruined. It's so hard because like on one hand, I don't want to let all of these like negative experiences change my like kind-heartedness for people, because like I genuinely do like not like to see people hurt or like struggling through things or whatever. But or like if they need help in a bind, then like I'm gonna try my best to help them, especially if they're a close friend. But also at the same time, it's just like it's just so annoying that like every time I get either like the short end of the stick, where like, in the case of the Vegas trip, where like there's just a whole day where like, or like I have to stay back at night and watch over this guy where he like threw up and whatever, and like all the yucky stuff. and like I have to be the one to do that, and like it sounds like really whiny, but it's just like I feel like I try to do a solid for friends or like even people on the street that I don't really know, and like I try to do people a solid and give them like the benefit of the doubt, but I just feel like what's it called? Like it just doesn't feel like appreciated, if that makes sense. I mean, I just feel a lot of the times like very like used, I guess, that a lot of the times that I think people take my kind-heartedness for granted, and like sometimes I feel like they almost abuse it to an extent of like whenever you need help with something that I'm just kind of like the guy to call, fix it Felix. Same thing of like it just gets to a point where it's just like it dissuades me from helping or trusting people a lot of the times, because it's just like, is your intention really like, like, are you really in a pickle and like you really need my help and like you're really grateful, and like, if I ever needed help from you, that like it would be like reciprocated and stuff like that? Or is it just kind of like you're just using me to do one thing, and once I do it for you or help you out with it, then like you're just gonna toss me to the side again? Because I just feel like it just happens so often, and it's like, especially if it's like you made a mistake and like you need help cleaning up after it. Like for example, if you're just like drinking a lot, or like if you're doing whatever activity, like if you just keep continuously getting like to the point of like I have to walk you back, or like I have to go with you to make sure that you don't like goof off or hurt yourself, it just gets to a point where it's like, I just can't keep ruining my like mental state because I hate seeing you like get hurt, and like it just feels like it's like an abusing the fact that like I'm gonna help you out because I see you in trouble. And like, I don't know, it just gets to a point after a while where you just kind of get tired of it, like I just feel like really it just that's basically it. It just gets to a point, where like after a while, when you just feel underappreciated for things, you just feel like people are kind of just using you for what you can offer them and then kind of throwing you to the side when you're no longer useful. Like that's the part that just irks me, bro. Like, and it just happens so often, and I don't know if it's just like I'm choosing the wrong people to give my energy and attention to, or if it's just like that's just kind of how it is, and like sometimes you just need to let people go. Because like I might talk about this in another episode, but like I have like not a need, but like it's just kind of like a reflex reaction from, I don't know when it happened. I'm gonna have to do some thinking about it, but like to basically like have control over things and fix things. And so maybe that's why I care a little bit more, because I try to fix everything or like try to repair every ship. But like I'm trying to I think I'm just trying to find a weird balance of like still being kind and being open to helping people, especially when they need it, because going through life alone is really scary and really difficult. And you do need people who are with you to help you out when you are in need. Like you can't do it alone all the time. But also at the same point, it's like, you know, it's like the boy who cried wolf in a sense, but like in the sense of like, if I just keep doing things for people and it like keeps harming me, like in terms of especially like my mental, where like I just feel like I'm like I'm just being used for like what I can offer or like the skills that I can offer, and that's it. Like, and it's not like, oh, I thank you for doing this thing, or like let me make it up to you in some way. Like it just feels like really like I won't use a swear word, but it feels really poopy, like it just feels bad, like in my soul. I don't know, and then like it after a while you kind of don't want to help out people anymore, which is like really kind of it's also a depressing thought, because it's like, if nobody helps anybody, and we all just kind of go alone, then it's kind of like you lose out on so many like opportunities. And I think people life becomes so much harder if we don't help each other out. But I think it's important, and I think same thing goes for me too, where like if somebody helps me out, I feel like I need to be a bit more appreciative of them basically sticking their neck out for me or helping me out whenever, especially on like work or projects or stuff like that. But I don't know, I just feel a lot of times, especially recently, that like there's been so many scenarios where I just feel like taken advantage of. Like my kindness has just been kind of taken advantage of, and I don't know. I'm still gonna try and be the same person and like not let it kind of affect me too much. But it is kind of hard, you know. Just like I'm just like I don't know if like tired is I it is kind of I'm just kind of tired of being like the like go to guy for stuff like this, and it's just like you know I don't know. I don't know where I want to end it off. But like it's just getting to like tiring for me to like constantly have to be the person that's like always on phone call or like the backup guy, or like if you're drunk then I'll carry you home, or like if you need something for like tech or like you need help with this or whatever, then like I do it, like I help you out with it, and then like I just get thrown to the side again and we never talk, and it's just kind of like you know and I don't know if it just becomes it comes from like my expectation of what I expect in return, because I think it's also a balance of like not expecting too much from people. But then like I feel like if I don't expect at least a thank you, then it's gonna cause me to be like, why am I really doing this for somebody? And then it becomes like really transactional. And I have gone in length about why I feel like relationships shouldn't be transactional. But it's just like it feels so one sided, and I feel like I'm just kind of the what can you do for me kind of person that like I don't know. It like dissuades me from being kind of that guy anymore. If like the next time somebody needs some help with something, that I'm just gonna say no, because like I'm just tired of it. But I think part of it too is just like protecting my own peace, like knowing where I am in my life. Like if kind of back to like the social battery episode, which was the last episode that I filmed. Go watch it. Great plug. But if my cup is not like if I don't have space basically in my gas, or like if I don't have gas in the social tank, if my social battery is low, or like my emotional cup is really full, then I can't really help somebody else out, like figuring out where I am first and then being open to help maybe might be a solution. But I think it's just like something that's been on my mind recently, because I just like it's just been really frustrating to be like always that guy that's like the break in case of emergency guy, and like that's all I am. Feels very like I, I it does seem kind of transactional way, but it just kind of seems like one-sided. But I'm trying to still keep an open mind and keep an open heart and still be open to helping people. But that's my thoughts on everything. Something that I'm still thinking about or trying to grapple with, but hopefully I'll get better over time, and hopefully my voice will get better over time, because I sound like I'm about to die, which is not great. I'm not, by the way. I'm doing great. It's just my voice. But hopefully you guys, I don't know about enjoyed this rant, but if you did or it resonates with you, like, subscribe. I have a bunch of other videos where I talk about things that hopefully aren't too serious, but they are. But it's kind of about life. I don't know. There's a bunch of stuff. Anyway, I'll throw it in like this corner because I don't know where else to put it. It'll go in like this corner over here, but I'll just throw it over there if you want to go watch any of my other videos. But hopefully you enjoyed this one, and hopefully I'll see you in another episode of the series, or not, or hopefully you do. But hopefully you enjoyed, and thanks for watching.